Welcome to Subramani. One statement of Buffett, which he makes quite frequently, is when he quotes Graham saying that investment is most intelligent when it is done business-like. What does it really mean? It means you have to be, it sounds like it means you have to be a little unemotional about your investing decisions. Now, that is easy for somebody like Buffett or Graham to say at the level at which they are, but I wonder whether many of us can really be unemotional about our investments. But when you are not careful about your emotions, you make mistakes, big mistakes. I'll give you two examples. One man who was impacted by cancer, was hit by cancer, was approached by a foreign bank and sold two insurance policies, big ULIPs, in both in the case for his daughters, right? He was told, look, you have got cancer, this is going to happen, so we will take a policy for your daughters. And he took a policy for his daughters, right? So let me stop at that. Next one was a professor, smart professor. In his subject he was very smart, but in money he was very emotional perhaps, or very unsophisticated for sure. He had a lot of bank deposits, a lot of real estate, and he was also sold a pension plan for his daughter. Now both these cases are great cases of emotional sales, where the father was approached saying, look, why don't you create a pension for your daughter? A great emotional sale, right? If you are not around, your daughter will still get a pension. Fantastic. But to create that corpus, you have to be able to put money. So here is a father who created a big pension plan for his daughter, and I can guess how it must have happened. The bank RM must have come, or the agent must have come. I think in this case it was an agent who came and said, sir, why don't you buy some policy? And he realized he was 75 years of age, could not be sold a life insurance policy, and pension is something which he didn't need because he was already getting a pension from the government which was indexed, so he did not need the pension. So saying, sir, you are a government employee, you are getting a nice fat pension, so why don't we create a pension for your daughter also? Great sale. Daughter is in her 40s, she did not need a pension. The last thing she needed was a pension. A bank fixed deposit or a SIP in an index fund would have been far more useful. So here is a person who's put in a big amount as a premium. He's paid for 2 years and then he has died. There is no reason, there is no way how the daughter could have paid the premium, but luckily there is other part of the estate left with which she will be able to pay the premium. Now imagine if you were living almost say hand to mouth, or you were fully invested, and suddenly you find that your father has taken a term annuity plan for you, which is got a premium of 5 lakhs per year, and you can't afford it. What will you do, right? So here the father has paid for 2 years. Luckily there has been other assets with which I have been able to pull money out and make it available for the next 3-4 years. So the minimum period that she will pay is 5 years, and unfortunately the pension starts when she will be 46-47 at the peak of her earnings. When does she need a pension? She needs a pension at 65, maybe 70, because she's got other income. Now this is going to become pretty messy, because the return that she's going to get is going to be terrible, considering that she will be paying tax on whatever she is getting. Now if she had a simpler policy, or if she had a mutual fund based pension plan, she could have decided to withdraw. She'll pay 10% tax first on day one. She'll pay 10% tax because it will be treated as capital gains. It will be indexed, and she will withdraw when she needs. So maybe age of 65, she needs money for Diwali, she will withdraw 5 lakhs from it. She will not withdraw 5 lakhs per month every month and pay tax on that, right? She will not be trapped like that. But both these sales, first the case of a father with cancer who did not understand that if he dies, the daughters will not be able to pay the premium, or in the second case where the father did not realize that, yes, of course he was getting an index pension, but he couldn't create an index pension for his daughter without understanding the product. So again, emotional decision. So be very careful. So if when a time when you're emotionally upset, you've had a divorce, your wife has died, or you've lost a child, any of these things are emotionally, lost a job, any of these things, or some of these things are definitely very, very traumatic for people. So if you are going through that phase, that is not a great time to be investing, because you are likely to make some emotionally wrong, financially wrong things because you are too emotional about it. Don't buy products for your insurance or pension products for your children. Let them buy it for themselves. Go and offer them an incentive. Tell them, go take a term insurance and I will pay the premium. That's perfectly all right. Or I will reimburse the premium which you're paying for your, you get your ATC benefit. So go and take all that. So incentivize your children. Whatever behavior you want from your children, incentivize them. And that is the only way to reward anybody. Right? Why would you want to just go and say, oh, this so and so has my servant has done this, so I have to pay for this. Pay for their education, pay for their medical expenses, pay for all those things on which they may not be too keen and willing to spend, right? So you have to understand all that as to what you're doing. So don't be emotional. Don't say, no, they need the money, I will give it to them now. Unemotional investing, is it really possible? Graham's statement of investing, making investment business-like is very difficult for at least for us to understand, because that is their viewpoint, and they are one of the best communicators in the world, and maybe they are able to step away while doing their investments. And I would think all investments happen with emotion. So to me, it is very difficult to think that every one of us will look at every number before we invest. If somebody calls me and says such and such a thing is happening, of course I'll start investigating and all that. But before that, I may just go and buy 1,000 or 2,000 shares, saying, let me first buy and then start doing my equity research on that. Let me first buy. So I may do something like that. So to be business-like is not not something which I understand, or which I say I always implement. I have been emotional. I have bought shares emotionally. I have made mistakes by buying shares emotionally. I have bought shares emotionally and made money. I bought shares emotionally and lost money, right? So all these things will happen. So it is almost impossible to say that all of us will make all our decisions without any great emotions. A lot of research has been conducted on the effects of reasoning to the areas of brain implication on the emotion. Perhaps it is it has been well documented also, but the results are largely counterintuitive. What research shows is that emotion and reasoning seem to be linked at the hip, but at least for us, emotion does make us irrational. But it makes it part and parcel of whatever rationality we possess. So I don't think we will be able to get away from the emotional part, but at least know that when you're emotionally disturbed or you're being carried away by certain things, don't take a decision to invest. If you've met a promoter and you're very impressed with what he's been doing, delay your decision of investing at least by 3 days. Wait for the promoter impact to go away, or the investment banker impact to go away. Take 2-3 days, talk to somebody else. Don't be in a hurry. Your money is not running away anywhere. You will get enough opportunities to buy. Don't get carried away by things like abhi le lo, abhi band hone wala hai. It doesn't really matter. If you have money, newer opportunities will come, right? So human decision making is really difficult to understand from a psychology point of view, and financial decision making for the next 30, 40, 50 years is something which our brain has never been able to do, right? You lived only till the age of 37. If the average age expectancy was 37, where is the question of having to worry about long term and things like that? You started thinking about all this only when maybe you were 32, and you know you're going to die in 5 years. So the increasing longevity, increasing complexities, increasing pressure of sales, increasing FOMO, all these things are going to impact you. So be very careful about the amount of emotions that come and play with you while you're investing. It is not possible to say I will be completely emotionless. It is not going to happen, neither to you nor to me. So let us all be careful about what we are doing. Let us be less emotional rather than saying let us be unemotional. That is not going to happen. Thank you.